What's up?
Hey, we're back.
Wednesday, January 17th. Pick Central, joined by Marty Mush, Ev, and Clemmer. A lot to get through on a Wednesday. Gonna kind of shift it to the gambling first, and then maybe some storylines at the end. So we touched on it yesterday. Dukes has props in terms of this weekend's games. Rush yards, pass yards, props for the weekend. So I think that's if you have a really good feeling about a game, like you know, Marty, you were really good on Baker. Like Baker's underrated, so you probably could have hit his passing yards. I think 337 would have been over his passing yards.
Sure.
It's a safe assumption.
It was 250, so.
Yeah,
Is that what it was?
Safe assumption.
Like, he should have had like 4.
There you go. So if you have a good read on games like that, and I do think this weekend is still like a little difficult because just because they're big spreads doesn't make it easy to pick. Like you kind of look like a square if you're just laying San Francisco. Now, you know, as San Francisco beat bad teams, yeah. Do we think Green Bay is a bad team? No. So that's where it gets hairy.
Tell you, I think I've fully convinced myself that the 49ers are going to beat the shit out of them. And I've been trying to get myself on the Packers side. I've been trying, and I don't think that their defense can. Their defense is not very good, and Dak really shit the bed. Like think about how bad Dak shit the bed. They still scored 30-something points.
But
and I know there's a lot of garbage.
Garbage
I know it's a lot of garbage, but still. Okay, take that out.
They allowed
Their
7 in
defense
the first
is
half.
not that good. It's not. And they have to now cover Debo, Ayuk, McCaffrey. Like, there's Kittle. There is so many options on that team. And I know I'm just naming the players on the team, but that's what – I don't think they can stop them. I don't.
And they're coming off a week of rest. Like
yeah, and like Bosa literally is like, I'm just happy I got to have a week of health. And like I've been trying because I want to take the Packers plus 10. I want to. I keep seeing scenarios that they are going to get run the fuck over.
But here's the thing, though. I don't think their defense needs to really play well to cover 10. That's where I'm at.
So?
No, because I think they're going to score a lot. I think the Packers are. I was even talking to Jack Mike yesterday. If you look at the last, like especially like second half of the season, they're good. San Fran's very good against the run. They let a lot of teams throw on them down the stretch. They let Drew Lock go in there and like throw for a lot of yards down the stretch. They let like Kyler Murray, Kyler Murray is a good quarterback, but they let him go in there with just like an Cardinals offense throw for a lot of yards. They've let some teams go in there. If you can, they have a very good like front four. Obviously, like Bosa and them are great, but Packers have a very good offensive line. They've torched like everybody.
I know.
I think they're a secondary that can be beat. They've shown they can be beat. And I like because I like the Packers, but I like the over as well. Like I think they're both. I think it's a shootout. I think they both score quite a bit. And I think this is I think the Packers they're red hot in offense. I think they can do enough to keep it within single digits. That's where I'm at.
So
I'm already locked in plus 10.
And
I'm on the other side.
And I get there's no like we both have our opinions, obviously, but like I don't think we both would be surprised if the other one won.
No, I mean,
I would be
San Fran's
surprised. I think Niners going to cover this easily.
I do too, but
San Fran's a great team.
Niners,
if they won by like 8 or like 7 or whatever, I'd be like, all right.
Niners in their 12 wins have won by more than 10, 11 times.
Yeah, we touched on that a few times.
That's a good stat.
If you think they're going to win,
no, they blow teams out.
We've said that. When they win, they cover. And it's big numbers. You're not getting discounts on 40.
Over 10 points, 11 of 12 wins.
I think we touched on that when they were playing another good team like down the stretch.
Well, they beat the shit out of Dallas. They beat up like the Eagles.
Yeah, we've touched on that. They're electric right now.
Well, that game also is minus 170 to be the highest scoring game.
Is the highest total. I think it's gonna go like way over. Like I could see it being like 42 to like 35. Like that wouldn't like shock me.
Oh, that's just
really
that's
really
just for
high,
the Saturday games.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not all 4 games.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
No, just saying highest scoring game.
But it also is the
Saturday.
favorite. It's plus 115 to be the highest scoring
Right.
game of the weekend.
Of the weekend too. Okay.
Oh, that's high scoring team. I'm sorry, high scoring team.
Team, yes.
So you get the
obviously
highest scoring game
that-
for the
that makes
Saturdays.
sense.
Yeah, I actually might seem a little. I don't know. Stroud's really good, but that seems a little. Well, Lamar can hang it on people. I don't know. Laying 170. I don't know.
That is the game I'm going back and forth nonstop.
That's when I think I like the Ravens.
What do you have for the Sunday? The same lines on those for Sunday, Dukes. High scoring teams, high scoring props, high scoring game.
So we
Most passing yards. It's a high-scoring game there.
Tampa.
Sunday.
It's Tampa, and Tampa's more.
Yeah, so
that also makes
Love
sense.
having the most passing yards. I know he does probably pass the most out of. Wait, was it?
That's interesting. Chiefs and Bills aren't.
Chiefs and Bills aren't.
Right, yeah.
That almost makes me like you got to take the Bucks and Lions there. That feels like this forever. I also think the Chiefs Bills I would play the under as well.
Well, I mean,
For the sense of that everybody for years we have it programmed in our brain this is going to be, the over and these teams are
Imagine
scoring,
saying that.
and it's not the same. What?
Imagine saying that like 2 years ago when Big Cat had that as his game of the year. Wasn't that his first
I
game of the
agree.
year?
Yeah, but if you
And then it ended up
remember,
being like
even
42 to
even
36
in that
or
game,
whatever
now
it
it
was.
went over easily. But he says that too. He goes, "If you were watching, that was a sweat."
It
Yeah.
was for.
It was.
There was
can't,
crazy scoring in the last like 2
Agreed.
minutes.
Yeah, the
And
way
then, like bang, 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 bang.
But they and again, like I just keep seeing the Chiefs get down to the 7-yard line and go like this,
Yeah, Harrison Butker comes out.
kick 3 at a time.
The other thing to worry about in that game is the weather. It's supposed to be incredibly cold, similar to what we saw last week with the game in Kansas City. Now Kansas City's going to have to do that again in Buffalo. I heard, -3 temperature, like really cold weather.
Can I just talk to my friends for a second? I got 28-1 the Bills, right? I think this whole storyline, this whole Patrick Mahomes hasn't had to go on the road yet in his whole NFL career. The whole storyline, you've said it, that he might just have his number. I don't know why the Chiefs. I feel like the Chiefs might just win.
Yeah,
I sniped a good Chiefs line. I got plus 3.5 -110 this morning.
That half is huge.
I checked the sports constantly of like just looking for like trying to get a good line on something. It was 3.5 this morning for like a legit like full out. I at 7:48 a.m. I locked it in. I saw 3.5 and I literally was like, "Is this?" I went to all the other books. I'm like, "This can't be right." And then all the other books were still 2.5, like 3, but like 3 -120. It was Chiefs plus 3.5 -110.
is crazy.
I couldn't have
Good
locked it
line.
in. I couldn't have locked it in faster.
it's a real good line.
Couldn't
Do
have
you
locked it in
guys kind of
faster.
agree with me where it's like it's just like you can see everyone just blowing fucking Mahomes after this, being like he just went to Buffalo. Everyone doubted like he never had to go on the road, and then he just beats him in Buffalo.
Well, yeah, I mean that's why.
Like Buffalo wasn't that impressive against.
Their defense has a lot of injuries that people aren't really talking about.
I mean, what's his name also just got hurt too last game, right? They carted him off the field.
yeah,
Was it their like best linebacker? I forget his name.
one of them.
I mean, it's like they're very banged up.
Like they're without.
Also, is Gabe Davis playing?
Didn't play last week.
I don't even know if
I
it
think
matters.
it's
to be
unknown.
honest.
Yeah.
He doesn't really catch the ball anyway.
So I have a
Rasul Douglas was out last week into one of their corners.
Yeah.
If the Bills win, I think they could win by a lot. If the Chiefs win, I think it'd be close. Does that make sense? If it's a close game, I think the
Kind
Chiefs
of.
win. If it's a blowout, I think the Bills win.
I think I kind of get.
Yeah,
what-
because the Chiefs have looked that bad.
That's the
yeah,
thing.
I agree with that. It's
See,
very.
they
It's
haven't-
very.
They haven't shown that ability to like really pull away, where the Bills have shown more of that.
Also, the Chiefs can't pull away because they keep kicking.
Yeah,
field goals.
correct.
Right.
Bad in the no, they're bad in the red zone for sure.
But all it's gonna
Not
take,
great.
all it's gonna take is one day.
and Kelsey playing better. You know, like he hasn't
Lot of drops.
played great, and he hasn't been. And with Rice being like an actual receiver, that's going to free him up a little more now, and because you saw Kelsey getting a little more freed up last game because of Rice.
The drops he's had not only last week, but the last feels like the few weeks of the season have been just.
Yeah.
I've never seen him drop in, not like dropping like tough catches, dropping like wide open, just like in his hands or in his face level, just dropping them.
Speaking of Kelsey, you see that Kelsey is like didn't officially retire.
No.
What do you mean?
He went on like Jason Kelsey went on their podcast and was like, "Listen, I didn't tell anybody I was retiring. Like he's like, I'm not trying to make this a long out thing. I think one, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna be more respectful of like thanking people at a long career, blah 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 blah." And he was basically kind of implying that he wasn't gonna retire.
I mean, he's a press conference retirement guy.
He's got a podcast. He's gonna do it on there probably. Like this is what the world is now.
Maybe that's. I just think
Either
it's
one.
like him, where we're talking about literally Smitty saying the greatest Eagle of all time. Even if he did it on his podcast, I would think he would do some type
I think
of
you.
like,
I think you have both.
media thing,
Both.
like wherever like all the higher ups in the Eagles are there, players, like even some
Exactly.
legendary players,
Kinda what he
all the
said.
media's there. Give your send off as this greatest, one of the best offensive linemen of all time.
Great, maybe the
Send
greatest
him up,
player in
maybe the
franchise
greatest Eagles of
history.
all
It's a big
time.
deal.
It is crazy though that like every news outlet was like, he's retiring because he cried. Like I obviously that's what it implies, but like he never said, "Hey, I'm retiring."
He said something in the locker room. Didn't that story come out?
They were saying he
said
told
the same
everyone
thing.
in the locker room that he was retiring, and then I guess you were saying he said that's
He
not
said
true.
that he said the same. He said the same thing on the podcast that cherish every. Like he said some words that would again imply, but he was like cherish every moment you have. Like this feeling goes away, and you just look at me now. But then he was like, I'm not equipped enough in that moment to make a decision, that big of a decision, when I'm so emotional. That's what he basically was saying.
It's fair.
Which is a fair thing. You've had how long has he played for?
Like
15
11,
years?
No, like
12
11,
years?
12, something
Like
that. 12 plus.
he's not going to retire just after a game because they lost. But then he was like, some people were saying like, I feel bad for you if that's your last game and you retire on. And he got mad at that. And he's like, don't fucking feel bad for me. Like had a good career and stuff, but I could see him coming back.
The only thing Smitty mentioned it too. If you watch, I don't know if everyone here has watched the documentary about him. After the Super Bowl last year, he literally his body, which I'm sure this is all pretty much all NFL guys, but specifically him, like he literally can barely like stand up.
Yeah.
And I mean, the guy he's got young kids. He's obviously made a lot of money. He's got a fucking huge podcast now.
Smoke wife.
Good looking wife.
He's talked about how he's worried about like head injuries and stuff.
Yeah, I would like it. Just the stars kind of aligned.
I mean,
to him
also
retiring.
the tush push probably took
kills him.
3 more years
Yeah.
off. So
Guys, I mean, he was at the bottom of that pile every time.
and they
Not
don't.
like
What they
the
do?
dead
They had
bottom.
do it at least 25 times.
This guy was just
I would say multiple times a game. Yeah.
This guy was submarining in the ground under maybe a ton, literally a little. When I was not ton, like 2,000 pounds on top of him. Maybe every time they ran the tush push.
Crazy.
Do you guys think that Travis Kelce's drop issues last week were due to the cold, more so than anything else?
I don't know. He's been
He's done
dropping
it
for a
the
few
last
weeks
few
now.
weeks, yeah.
For sure, but I think that last week was more on the cold than anything else, which that just makes my follow-up point, is that going to be another problem this weekend?
I'm not saying like this to be funny either. I think that there is just a lot going on in that guy's life.
That's bad though. He's not focused. If
No,
that was the reason.
And I don't think it's just like, oh, because it's Taylor Swift. Like, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's just like he was famous. He went into uber famous. He went into a different stratosphere where you cannot walk out of your house. You're staying in your house because you don't want people to be filming you. People are filming outside your house every time. Remember when Zac Efron said on PMT, he was like, I didn't go outside my house for weeks because people were just sitting out there. Like, he's at that fame, and I'm not saying this is why, but he just hasn't looked himself at all. You know, it's tough to juggle all that.
And
I'm not feeling bad for him at all, obviously. I'm just saying, like, I could be.
And look at the way the year's gone. The first half of the year, he was a much better player than the guy we're seeing the second half.
Yeah.
Like, there is a clear delineation of.
Ooh, what a word.
How about that, huh?
That.
Pay for that dictionary.
Say that word again.
Delineation.
Delineation.
Never heard of that one.
There's a huge separation between that first half success and that second half.
Why use the other word? When
It was the first one that came to my
separation's
mind. I'm sorry.
Separation's
I'm
right
sorry.
there.
I'm
you know?
sorry. I had. You can hear I had to search for separation. Delineation came first, but there's a huge difference between those two halves, and it's you can wonder why. And I hate that blame let the guy.
I'm not blaming her.
But I think you're absolutely right, Marty. Like, you got to remember, he's a pitch man for like a number of things. He's on every commercial you see. He's obviously dating a very famous person, but he also does a podcast. He's got a million things going on, just like you said, Marty. That's got to play some sort of psychological toll.
Yeah,
It has to.
it 100% does. But also, it also could do with, like, there's no one else. Like, he's getting double teamed. They're throwing different packages at him now because they know he's the only option. Like, there's also football stuff that probably goes to it.
He better lock the fuck in this weekend.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Lock in Travis.
Yeah. Dukes, do you have ranges of those games in terms of totals? Have you guys ever looked at that? When you can get
where it's going to fall between?
Where you can fall between. I'm interested to see like team touchdowns on the certain games with that, and then we can look into exact like player type props. But so what would you put San Francisco's touchdown number at? Anything less than 3.5. You're not going to get less than 3.5, but 3.5 seems like a number that I'm not that worried about laying, right?
The total, it's got to be 4. I imagine it's like over 4.5.
You think it's over 4.5?
10. Well,
3.5 is the line, minus 125.
Oh my
okay,
god,
juiced.
dude!
I figured juiced.
Not that juiced. 150,
Well,
170 is juice to
I guess
me.
I was thinking in my head the total's 50.5, the line's 10. So they're projecting like 30, 20, like 21, kind of like that.
Give me that.
Range.
Prop of the playoffs. I'll take my chances.
There was one if there's a both if them for both scored 20, I like, or it's like 21 or something. If they have something like that, I was looking into.
The line for the Niners is like 30.5 for team total points.
Yeah. If there was something like both of them to score like 3 touchdowns or something, or both to score 20 or something like that.
The Packers is 2.5 team total touchdowns, but it's plus 135.
Yeah.
I really think they're gonna score. They have just been so. This offense has been on fire.
Oh, 2.5, man.
And listen, they had
3.5.
Dallas had a bad game plan. This Dallas defense had been like really good at home.
Aaron Jones, like, kind of, he was running wherever he wanted to.
Oh yeah,
That's where I think it opened
as a whole,
up
their
Jordan
offense.
Love like completely, and that's where I think that the 49ers could just stop that, and it has to. And Jordan Love could still. I believe in him enough that he could still do it without the run. But I'm saying, like, if they stop that, all the pressure on him, and that's why I'm going.
Fair. That's definitely something like a level of concern that I have. But it's the Packers' offensive line also that I trust.
Mm-hmm.
That they're very good, so I trust them even against a good defensive line to get like some type of push to at least be able to keep them honest.
Yeah.
Like I'd be surprised if they just I'd be surprised if they just totally shut down the run game. That would surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
If they limited it, that wouldn't shock me. But to totally just like almost eliminate it I would think that would be surprising.
Do you have windows of point totals on there, Dukes? No, not. They'll probably
there's
landing between 41 and 47. Landing between
Like the
50.
bands. I have that in front of me. What do you want to know?
Bills, Chiefs.
Pull it up.
Bills, I think it's low. It's like 40.
45 is it? Remember, I think the weather that's dropped at least a couple points since the weather forecast.
I'm wondering what you could play with that. So, but yeah, I don't know. Talk me out of the.
The band for the Bills is like 21 to 30 points. Is plus 130.
Oh no, yeah. Well, that teams. I'm saying totals. All right, yeah. So let's look more into exact player props. We'll go Bills. We'll go with the last. Or you got the Saturday. We'll go this one first. What jumps out, or what are you guys trying to angle before you see the lines?
I have 2 here. I have Josh Allen anytime touchdown minus 120. I mean, he's been pretty consistent with
That's
that.
what I was gonna say
And I know I did it last week and it burned me. I guess maybe I'm insane or maybe I'm stupid, but I'm still going to ride with Travis Kelce. Anytime touchdown plus 140. Like I said, they do go to him, and they did go to him in the red zone, in the end zone a couple times. He obviously didn't work out, but Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes love going to Kelce in the playoffs. I think that's going to continue. So that's plus 140.
Another one I like would be going up be a Mahomes touchdown. I could just picture the cold weather, like scrambling, like and with
First thing I thought of.
I think about it too with these quarterbacks. Obviously, they want to preserve themselves as much as they can, but we're finally at the time where preservation is not a priority anymore.
You know who jumped out?
Plus 425.
I just think guys like him, like this, if they're ever going to put their shoulder down, put their head down, and go for an end zone, like this is divisional round playoffs. This is the time.
I like that play.
Did you see McCole Hardman?
I also
weird
will-
fucking play. Do you see his number? It's like 6-1.
Score.
Yeah. I know he's not like a massive feature, but
He's
the
a
Chiefs
playoff touchdown guy.
Chiefs are
Him or like a Noah Gray types, like those
no
weird
name
guys.
guys.
Ev, going off your point, just point something out. Do you remember in the Dolphins game, he legitimately, same exact scenario, Mahomes put his shoulder down, didn't slide, ran right through it on like the 5-yard line. So first thing that jumped out to me was also Pat Mahomes.
Because I have another quarterback to score that I took, like Dukes had us bringing up.
Blake Bell?
No, in a different
No,
game.
I'm kidding.
Jordan Love, we'll get to that. Like, Jordan Love, I got like 10-1 to score.
Yeah,
And he scored a few times. Yeah, anytime, 10-1. And I know he didn't score the last couple games, but I think it was like 3 of the last 4. Last like maybe like 5-6 weeks of the season, he scored like 3 or 4 touchdowns.
I think he's gonna have to use his legs. So
I just think these are games where quarterbacks they got to go for it sometimes. If you're ever gonna go for it, this is the time.
Do any of these rushing yards props in this game stand out to you guys?
yeah, both.
I don't know, like
If I had to pick one, probably Pacheco.
If it's windy, you got to wonder if they're going to run more.
I mean, Pacheco's getting their carries.
He just plays hard.
Or even the Mahomes yards, Mahomes over rushing yards. Think he's going to scramble some.
That is so sad.
Similar logic.
That is so sad to see Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who was picked in the first round, and he has a playoff total of 8.5 yards in the fucking over
Honestly,
under.
that's not a bad
game.
Getting over 9.5 plus money is not terrible.
He was a first round pick, right?
Yeah, he was the pick after they won the Super Bowl.
What did you think?
He was like the last pick of the first round.
Hey, let's look at that
After
real
they won the
fast.
first Super Bowl.
Useless.
Clyde,
He was really good early. They just had other backs that came in and just were like just as good, if not. But he got hurt.
That goes to show you again the same thing, like investing
Guys.
in a running back.
Think about it though. How many rushes is he gonna get? 3 or 4?
2, 3, maybe.
We could look.
Yeah, look what he's been getting. Because if he 10.5 yards for Clyde is plus 125.
I think I'm on Hardman to score a touchdown. I think I could just see a wacky fucking play.
So he's over basically 14 and a half. They don't even have his for like alternate.
Yeah,
rushing.
they don't have him or James Cook.
It's right. It is still early in the week.
Yeah.
So Wednesday.
Last week, Clyde had 7 carries.
They were blowing him out late, so it's a little
Is there all right? So maybe
might be slightly skewed.
what can I look at another game? You think Chiefs Bengals?
Now they didn't play anybody.
They didn't that week. Week 17.
Over 4.5
week
receiving
17,
yards.
yes. Week 17, yes.
Do you see this?
Noah Gray, if he can make like one catch.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, over 4.5 receiving yards.
Just a catch.
He's got to hit one of those.
Yeah, he's got it. That's why it's out there, dude.
He's-
it's bait. They're just baiting you to take it.
Dude, that's such a funny number to be like, come on, just one catch.
I at least saw him last week.
I actually
Like,
saw
that's
someone-
one catch.
He's on the field.
He was on the field.
It was funny in the Bucks game. I saw somebody on my timeline played like Chase Edmonds like over 3.5 receiving yards, and in like the second quarter he caught like they like threw like a bubble screen to him for like 8 yards. I was like, oh my god, that guy just hit.
I was getting DMs about Leonard Fournette scoring a touchdown. He got cut this week.
Yeah. Even in the game, they were using like other
Yeah, he didn't even use
running
him.
backs. He must have been like third or fourth basically.
Did you guys see who potentially could come back for the Ravens?
Yeah, and
Yeah, my Andrew.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's so crazy. Obviously,
but that makes me think that this is like a test. They get through it. Maybe he plays the AFC Championship game, but I could see him coming back for the Super Bowl.
the crazy
Now,
thing with
there's a lot
them
of
is
rust on that, but there's still, you
Likely's
gotta-
been so good they like haven't even missed him.
yeah.
Likely's almost been just as good. It's unbelievable.
If Andrews is healthy, that is a good addition to have, or working in 2 guys, or like
Show him
you've
some
seen it
double
work.
tight. that
Yeah,
they
you can do
haven't-
some
100%.
interesting
some
stuff.
double tight end they haven't seen. They haven't really used,
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
or only used like maybe early in the year when Likely was
100%.
getting his feet wet.
What else jumps out on the Ravens?
Can I point out
Texans?
one?
Yeah, sure.
One in this game that I love, Josh Allen over a half interception. I kind of alluded to it yesterday. I sincerely think he's a gunslinger in the playoffs. He's going to try to throw it into a tight window. This Chiefs defense, in my opinion, is too good. Minus 105 just to throw an interception. I like it. I think that if the Chiefs have a chance, it's going to be an interception that Mahomes turns into a touchdown or a field goal.
Could be at the end of the half too. That they don't care about.
It's all
Dude,
it takes is one bad
he's-
bounce.
he's a punt.
a tip ball.
He's a human punt. Like,
a third and long that he throws.
He does
yeah,
like.
he's a human punt. He
Let's
has
make sure we pronounce that correctly.
punt.
Just saying.
Wait, I don't get it's fuck.
Well, we can't say cunt.
God, I live with animals.
Wake up, Mincy didn't come back today.
I think it's next week.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. They have the wrong skyline on there too.
What skyline is it?
New York.
Jesus Christ.
I was gonna say where it all began, but when he started, he was doing it in Louisiana.
Or 3
Yeah.
alive.
He's never done a wake up Mincy in New York,
I don't think he has.
Act 3.
to my knowledge.
I mean, Josh Allen, 18 interceptions this year. So, I mean, he's averaging one a
But
game.
like
This is
that's
a
I
good
think
bet.
what Dukes is saying too, which is smart, is like he does like if 4th and 8 when
Yeah.
there's 10 seconds left in the half, he'll throw it down there and
Oh, I mean, the proof's in the pudding. Like, I think it's a really sharp bet.
Dude, it's also hilarious from his perspective. Sorry, but like him just throwing an interception, being like, "Yeah, no, that was on purpose." It's just like, no, it wasn't.
Tried to do that. Yeah.
I respect that.
What game you want next?
Let's go. Go back to Saturday. Oh, you know what? Ravens Texans.
So you're all over the Ravens, huh?
Not all. I like them a lot. I was really thinking about going with them. Then this morning I was looking. They had I got them -7, -120 this morning. That was the other one I locked in this morning. They were 7.5, which I was just shocked by because they've been like 9.5
Wait,
everywhere
I
else.
was going to say they're at.
I'm
7
seeing
now.
9.
Or no, that's I'll show you. I got -7,
I believe you.
Oh, yeah, I
minus
believe you.
120.
Yeah.
No, they were 7.5. I bought the 7 -120 because I was leaning that way, and then I saw 7. I was like, oh my god, 7.5. I was like, oh my god, this.
Wow.
And all the other ones were 9, 9.5.
What? Wow.
But I like the. I think the rate.
9.5 on most. Where I'm like, that's
7 is great.
7.
That's why I was flexing this
Yeah.
morning. I sniped. I couldn't believe with my eyes. But
I'm starting to go right. I'm almost feel so square wanting to be like 49ers and Ravens. But
the
like,
Texans have shown. Texans have had a couple games. If you look at their schedule, like they had the Jets game. Like they've shown some like down the stretch games where they've laid some eggs. Where I feel more confident with the Packers. They've just been a little more consistent. And we've seen the Ravens, people come to Baltimore, and they just beat the shit out of them. And I'm worried, as much of a Stroud guy as I am, I'm worried this is one of those games where maybe they go in there and they're just not quite ready yet.
Yeah, but
And their the Texans' defense has shown to be susceptible at times, and that's where I think Lamar and them, they're going to go score quite a bit.
I just saw the passing yards. C.J. Stroud on that number, 244, he's played 15 games this season. No, wait, am I?
He missed 2 starts.
He did. I'm wondering. All right, what's
He's hurt.
what's the number?
Concussion.
He's 10-5 on that over.
I figured that.
Just setting
Threw
244.
for a ton of yards.
I'll take it.
He missed 2 games. He threw for 4,000
I would take it too because I think they're going to
They're
be
gonna be down.
Yeah, I think they're going to be
Big sense.
down.
I also just get to see the Ravens just absolutely stymieing.
I think
that
Crazy.
run.
His passing touchdowns over 1.5 plus 135. That's heavy. Like they're saying they're not really expecting him to.
Yeah, but
Also-
yards you can get a lot of.
No. I wasn't.
Dak Prescott style.
I wasn't contradicting your
Different
point. I was
bet,
saying
yeah,
more
yeah.
like they're basically saying he's gonna be down, but he's
Gonna
gonna.
rate
I like what Ev is saying though, where it's like they're just not there yet. I
No.
think like we all know that, but I think that like people will take it. Like it was even funny. Was it Harbaugh that said like in the second? Oh no, that was Shanahan in the second quarter of the Cowboys game. He was already scouting, started watching film on the Packers because like they were like, there's no chance Cowboys win this.
Oh
game.
yeah.
But I feel like the Ravens like might just pounce them. Because you think about the Texans, right? Like they did just beat they beat the shit out of the Browns. We all said I bet the Browns. It was definitely a shocking win for them. But their away splits are horrible on defense. Flacco was horrible.
2 pick sixes.
Two
Yeah.
pick sixes, like a lot. Mark Cooper wasn't now. The Ravens just might be that much better than them.
Oh, they are.
Like, we know that, but I feel like they might just be like a complete dud of a game. I feel like it just might. Now I'm just convincing myself both are going to be blowouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Ravens, they've just been so sharp this year.
The Texans have dropped some bad games too this year. Like there was some. The Ravens haven't shown that like really like look. Really
And what's
If you're the Texans, would you want to see, as a fan, see them be like, all right, let's establish the run. It's like, nah, we're playing with a rookie quarterback. Let's just fucking take some chances.
I like
We got
Texans
nothing
money
to
line.
lose.
Texans money line.
Yeah, so here's my thought process behind it all.
Okay.
I like also CJ Stroud over 244.5 passing yards. I like
Yep.
because 1, I agree if they win the game, it's gonna be because he throws the ball for a shit ton of yards, or 2, they're down and he throws for a shit ton of yards. So that's might be my best bet of the weekend. But I like because think of the narrative behind Lamar. He hasn't really done anything in the playoffs, right? You're getting 9.5 points. The value's there to take them on the money line. I'm betting on Lamar not to show up. Really, I'm betting on them to not be as hot as they were before the bye. I really think that speaks to something. Taking that week off, I think that like the Patriots have lost in the same exact situation to the Jets, the divisional in
Maybe.
2009.
Yeah.
Yeah,
might
like
have been.
that week off, I think that
Yeah.
it sets up some upsets. Now, I think the Packers or the Texans will win this weekend. I'm betting on this to be the game where the upset happens. I think that when you fight a guy that has nothing to lose in C.J. Stroud against Lamar Jackson, I'll take C.J. Stroud in this fight.
I think you guys are crazy for thinking any underdog has a chance to win outright this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's
The
also
Chiefs,
like
the Chiefs could win out, right?
The Chiefs are the only one I'll say like.
I agree with you, Phil. Though the other 3, I think are.
yes.
Yeah, but to me, the
I
Chiefs,
think one of them
the
wins.
Chiefs aren't that game's a pick 'em. I know what it
And not
says. The
including
Chiefs
the
are a dog. That game's a straight up pick 'em.
Look, I'm confident in the Bills. I'm not gonna call you an idiot for saying, "Oh, I think the Chiefs are gonna win." I think there's zero chance the 49ers or Ravens lose.
I agree.
Well,
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay if
Yeah.
we have give me the good classic between the Bills and the Chiefs. Let the other three be blowouts. And you know what that sets up? Yeah, it's a shitty round. And you'd be upset, playoff, whatever. You only have a certain amount of games left. But guess what that sets up? A dream Final Four.
Yep.
You know, you got the now. Did you think the Lions would be a dream Final Four coming into the season? No, but you need that storyline. Lions going to the Super Bowl is massive.
Yep.
Big dogs against the 49ers. Always kind of been there. Dan Campbell like giving locker room fodder all week. That would be massive. 49ers are the team to beat. Like that's what we kind of want to see in the Super Bowl if we're looking at that. Chiefs and Bills, don't care who wins. Really good AFC team. We're going to get a classic there, and it's going to be decided on the field. It's not like we got robbed of a Bills-Chiefs matchup. That's great, and the Ravens have been there. So here we go, like off to the races with a dream Final Four, and I'm okay with that. If it means we get bad football,
as long as the Ravens win, that's an incredible. Like you said, no matter what,
Yeah.
that's an. This either Lamar's going to go to his first Super Bowl, or Josh is going to, or is the year that people doubted them, or the Chiefs going to overcome and maybe win a third one in like 6 years or whatever.
I'll
it
even
is.
say this too, like we talk about the Lions being a sentimental story. I don't think the nation should like be down on their knees like blowing them. But a rookie quarterback like Stroud in an AFC Championship game is not necessarily the worst
Pretty big deal.
storyline either.
Huge would be a
After beating the Ravens, let's say
Whoever
he
wins that
goes
game,
berserk
well,
and wins that game. Now, also, I mean, it'd be great for the show if it's the Bills.
It'd be fantastic for the show.
Yeah, I'd be running that thing back real quick.
Yeah.
But also, then you have Stroud, even if it's Mahomes, Stroud climbing the mountain even further with Mahomes. Like, that's phenomenal, too. So I think we're in a dream Final Four either way.
Also, you're like, I don't. It's not necessarily like I'm like guaranteeing that the Texans are going to win this game. It's
Oh,
just,
I know.
I think, yeah,
You're
I think,
taking a
I think it's
9.5.
yeah, I
underdog.
think that there's just value there. I like,
course.
I'll sprinkle a little money line there.
I think you're completely wrong, but I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, even if there's
Wild things have happened. Wilder
Oh
things have
yeah, of
happened.
course. Like it's not going to be all chalk.
I'm going down a rabbit hole here. Even if we get the upset and the Packers do beat the 49ers and the Lions win, you have a divisional hatred in the North.
I'll be honest.
it's-
Packers Lions is
Well, it'd be-
But if you started listing storylines,
get
that
it.
would be a above average storyline, not a mid to below
Saying
average.
worst case scenario, it's not that bad.
It's not, a
And
division.
that-
I don't want
it's-
that.
the,
Above
Lion-
average.
the Lions would be hosting an NFC Championship game.
That would be a
Thank
big deal.
you.
That would be
Thank
big.
you.
I want
Thank you.
nothing to do with the
Thank
Lions.
you.
Fucking
Thank you.
Packers. I want
Lions
nothing
That
to
is
do
an
with-
above average
Crazy.
storyline.
I want
Above
nothing to do
average
with it,
storyline.
Bosco. I want nothing
That'd
to
be
do with
insane.
it.
That is an above
Lions
average
Packers is
storyline.
Insane.
disgusting.
That'd be insane.
That'd be an above average storyline.
Dude, the Ford Field, that stadium would be fucking on
Nanoland.
fire.
The whole
For an
country would be rooting for the Lions.
An NFC title game.
It would be like the
Oh
Green
my
Bay versus the
God.
world.
Oh no, I'm all.
Oh man.
Lions
I almost
are gonna lose this week.
I almost think you should root for that as Bills because I think that'd give you a way better chance to win the
You
Super Bowl.
guys are all just like again, no Bucks storyline, huh? Just not going to put them in anyone.
They're the least. Well, of all this, they're the least
Why?
sexy storyline.
What?
Why is that?
'Cause it's
A guy
boring.
that had 8 head coaches is now going to be in a.
Storyline sucks.
I-
Boring.
Is it though?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. You got.
It's kind of-
bring back the. You have a
Sell it.
minute to sell
Sell-
me.
sell us.
You have a minute.
Sell us
Sell
on
me
the
this
storyline.
pen.
You have a guy who was playing on the scout team of the Panthers last year. He was playing on the scout team on
One
defense.
photo that was like
On defense, you have a guy that is literally was was dead in the water, completely going to be out of the NFL, maybe a backup, and now is taking over after Tom Brady and winning. He's playing defense,
still got the red jersey on.
and like you're going to go up against the 49ers, Baker against it. I don't know how that's not a good story.
Well, I think the problem is people would just go into a
You
big.
guys are sick of me hearing about Baker Mayfield. I get that.
The spread might be almost two touchdowns if that happens.
I don't know what to tell you. They beat
Especially if San Fran beat the shit out of the.
You know what
Packers.
I'm doing, dude?
If that does happen,
Bucks money line against.
Yeah, see, like I'm okay with that.
They can.
that I'm listen.
Yeah, but you can't
with
say
the
that's
points,
a
I'm
better
not, like,
storyline than
totally-
the fucking Lions Packers.
I'm not
The
saying
hatred
it's-
goes back till fucking the 40s.
I'm not saying it's better, but it's not. It's above average for sure. You just said it's above average.
This is, it's funny. So you've been red hot. You've been on fire. You've been
Thank you for someone acknowledging
insanely hot.
35 minutes.
Marty's been-
me being 61 and 26.
The good news is for the rest of us is I'm seeing how it ends. That it ends with this Buccaneers-Lions game because it's gonna blow up in your face.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
And listen, of course, I don't think anyone in the history of gambling has been 61-26 with all straight bets up 35 units.
In 2 weeks, basically.
16 days. 32
You've been incredible, Marty.
That's
It's a good run.
insane.
You've been great.
It's way too early, but it's a good run.
Yeah, but at that point, it's like I got it to lose. Like last night, I literally just said, "This is how good I'm doing." I just go, "Hey, $77 on a 5-team parlay, $1,800 winner." That's crazy. I'm sitting there acting like, "Yeah, I should win that."
Marty's texting me at night. He's like, "I gotta show you how hot I am."
What was your best
Screenshot
bet?
his bets.
Xavier minus 5.
Xavier was easy, right?
Yeah.
No, that was a sweat.
It was easy. Then all of a sudden it was 60 to 60.
They were losing. Yeah, they were like,
And then they were
Yeah,
losing
yeah,
60
yeah.
or 60, and then they got easy. Like all of a sudden,
Why did
Butler's
Tennessee
and-
start that game at 6 o'clock yesterday?
So that was. And I'm going to be completely
That was
honest.
so easy too.
Can I be honest? That was my one loss. I was at a doctor's appointment and I completely didn't get to bet it, and that's on me. I bet every one of my picks, but I also didn't know it was at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, neither did I. So
Can I pull something up really quick for you?
Yeah,
Nico?
yeah, go ahead.
This is just about going off Baker, like the offensive coordinator. I think just needs to get his flowers. Canales. Just look at like his.
and working with some like
wow,
with Geno Baker,
yeah, this guy.
pretty good.
This would be a guy I would hire as a head coach.
Right.
outside the
Canales.
box.
And I don't think he's
I don't know
getting
if he has the stars, but
he's not having the conversation like he's not in the discussion with like Ben Johnson of the Lions, but I think it's a guy
You'll
that
love
definitely.
that guy.
Yeah, I think this guy needs some flowers.
or this is a guy that the Chargers should throw a bag at.
They're going to throw it at Jim Harbaugh.
No, not as a head. Like I know
Oh, you're
that's
saying as a
crazy, but
coordinator.
like just
Offensive coordinator.
I see. Okay.
or yeah, like
Okay.
go live with fucking Herbert. You know what I mean? Or and I don't think Herbert's been good, but he hasn't. But you need a guy to take a leap. So
I'm
or Trevor Lawrence.
not making this
Trevor
all about
Lawrence,
Baker,
man.
but it is kind of crazy that he's had 8 head coaches and he has more playoff wins than Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I think
Like
part of that's the franchise too. You start with the Browns, like that's how it's gonna go.
and the Panthers, and then that's a lot of head coaches for. How long's he been in the league? 6 years?
Nah, more than
No.
that.
8? Is it 8 and 8?
When he got
2018.
drafted, I would say 2018. Yeah. So yeah.
When he got
Oh,
drafted,
I guess it is.
Yeah, it's not that long.
Is it only 6? 7 maybe? I guess this would be year 7.
18,
6, 7?
19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
that's crazy.
This was his seventh season.
8
highest.
coaches in 7 seasons is
crazy.
insane.
So highest scoring games Saturday and Sunday. If you had to pick, Houston Ravens or Packers 49ers, what are you taking?
Packers Niners.
I am too. Packers. Because I know the Niners are going to score.
I think it's the highest scoring of the whole weekend. I think.
I think you're
The Ravens
probably.
have a
I think the
problem with
Ravens
the-
Houston
right,
could get a
yeah.
little wacky.
You
like I
keep
said,
saying the Chiefs stuff. The Ravens have a problem of kicking field goals too.
I think Houston could get a little wacky and play fearless and just start taking shots. And
Well, the other one really. I mean, the Lions Bucks in a dome.
I like that over.
That one could
Did you
definitely.
guys see that?
Yeah, I'm taking that over the
fucking-
Chiefs Bills.
Did you see that Todd Bowles
Yeah.
interview?
Oh, yeah,
Who was
yeah.
like, "How you feel about the weather conditions?" Well, I don't know if you know this. It's in the dome.
Well, Russo had a clip.
Was the guy trolling or the guy just an idiot? That
think he
ass?
was-
I didn't know.
It was a
I think
woman.
You didn't know.
Oh, it was-
Oh.
Never mind then.
Russo had a great. He was going. He's like Dallas, 39 degrees. So we're battling the elements down there. We'll see how that goes. Keep us posted. It's like Chris, dome, Dallas, dome, dude. So he's just the best. All right, so that kind of ties up. Anything else in terms of props that people love, or just different angles of the game with the Lions, Bucks?
Yeah, it's just I like just Jordan Love 10-1. I got the score.
Okay.
I can see that going down.
He has 4 rushing touchdowns this year.
Anybody else favorite props for the weekend?
I like
I love this San Fran touchdown.
that Stroud passing prop is good. I like that. I do like that.
I'm on the
a really good
Kelsey
feeling with
anytime
that.
touchdown and the
And Josh Allen or Mahomes.
Josh Allen anytime touchdown.
All right. Right now, if you had to pick a Super Bowl prediction with the score, what is it?
Super Bowl prediction.
We should have done this.
Results,
We
like,
should have
who's
done
gonna
this.
win?
We should have done this day 1 of the NFL. By the way,
Oh, it'd be so
in a little
depressing.
lockbox.
It's crazy we haven't done this for like every sport when it starts.
Yeah.
Like we should have college football. We should have basketball.
Yeah.
We should have NBA. We should have everything.
Let's do it for
Do it for
baseball.
baseball.
Baseball's coming up soon.
Like, who do you think who wins
You
the Super
can't
Bowl?
pick
Who
your
loses
favorite
the
team.
Super Bowl? Who wins the Super Bowl? Like, so for example, 49ers beat
I'm taking
the Ravens.
I'm
What's your
taking
prediction?
Chiefs
Was that-
28.
I'm sorry. Was that you that said your girlfriend asked you that?
Dude, that was the
That's a crazy
funniest
question.
question of all. Did you guys
Great
see this?
question.
She
Good
goes,
question.
she goes,
Who's
who do you
gonna
think is going to lose the Super Bowl this year?
Great
I was
question.
That breaks
Wait,
your brain. Like, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, wait, lose? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh, who do you think is going to win? She's like, I don't know. I was like, why do you care
No,
if he's
I
going
like
to lose?
it. I am fascinated by that.
That's a
I like
good
that.
question.
Yeah.
A great question.
I'm going I'm going Chiefs 28, 49ers 27. Till they lose, it's the Chiefs. Till the Chiefs are out. I'm rooting for the
I
dynasty.
don't think anybody in this world can say anything when the Chiefs are just proving it. So I'm okay with that.
Yep.
And that's not a great pick, but I think it's pretty safe to say the 49ers get there. So,
Why is that not a great pick?
because the Chiefs have looked bad. We keep saying we're all in love with the
they-
Chiefs. Like we could look real
Bad
foolish.
they're a 3 seed. They're
Yeah,
bad.
no, there's no-
They're
yeah,
bad
it's
for the
not.
Chiefs. Sometimes the Chiefs, as bad, can be the same as the other teams.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they just haven't. They haven't looked great. So
Only you can pick a Super Bowl winner and shit on your own pick.
I don't know, it's how it's going this month. What are you picking?
I'm going Bills 32-27 against the 49ers.
Some 7-2 boxes.
You like that?
You 49ers as well.
Yeah. I think there's literally
Yeah.
zero chance anybody beats them.
I'm gonna go a little off the beaten path on half of it. I'm gonna go Ravens 30, Packers 24.
Oh,
Packers.
Wow.
You have
Team of
you
destiny.
have
Sort of. They're gonna
you
lose.
are just engraved in cheeseheads right now. Are you in
I'm gonna-
Packers
I'm gonna-
Twitter? Like
I'm
when
gonna
you're
c-
watching film or something?
I'm gonna call a shot. Everyone's not everyone. You guys have said like a little. You haven't just went like Niners, Ravens, but I'm gonna go off the beaten path. I think they're the team of. I think they've caught my eye the last few weeks of the year. I bet a lot. I think they're my favorite pick last week. I think they got something cooking that people haven't fully realized yet. Maybe.
Clemmer.
It's tough. I think it's Bills 31, Niners 21.
Wow.
Wow.
10-point.
All right, so there's an exacta, exact
Yeah.
results. So if you guys wanted to, it
Chiefs
would be
to beat
Chiefs
the
to beat 49ers, Rico, is plus
14.
1,400.
Okay.
Mush, Bills to beat 49ers plus 1,000. Ev, Ravens to beat Packers plus 2,500. Clemmer, Bills to beat 49ers plus 1,000.
I think I want more for yours.
I think I do too.
25-1. I want way more.
They have
than
to win as 10-point dogs this week and win again.
Let's
I guess it's just the Ravens. I don't know. That's crazy.
let's
I think it's probably just because the Ravens are going to be favorites in every. They're going to be home if they win every.
It's funny though. I picked the Bills to win, but if the Chiefs are 3.5, I think I might. I mean, the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's how like.
No, but
and that's great. That's,
Would you guys, for my sake and Phil's sake, I don't know if he's still back there, but like, do you put a little money on the Chiefs this weekend?
yeah.
I have 28-1 Bills. So
I'd
it's-
I mean,
one unit.
Especially
money
if you
line.
if you can at least get 3, I feel like it's a solid. I mean,
yeah, I feel like it's not a lot, not even hedging.
like
it's just
the
like-
fact that you can the fact that there's a nice gap there in what you think is going to be a close game where you could literally win both
yeah.
potentially.
A couple of quick ones. Giants, Raiders both give J.J. McCarthy a first-round grade.
I mean a lot of
We
teams.
saw this coming. Yeah, I just don't.
Also, this guy like
He's
credible?
Good. I
credible, or
don't know
what's
if he's
his deal?
incredible. Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, I'm not shocked by just in like.
Oh, he's not. That guy's a moron.
Yeah, he's not. Okay, this guy is. He's just a guy.
I've
That's
seen
fine.
that
I don't want
guy.
to track.
He
He's
like
just a guy. He's just
gets
like a
all
guy.
like I feel I don't even know who he exactly.
No, him being
He's
a
a
first round
Michigan State
grade,
guy.
him being a
Michigan State
first round
guy,
grade
yeah,
doesn't
so-
surprise me. I mean, he's
You write it with a typewriter.
pretty much everyone has said that.
This is like legit. The Giants did give him a first-round grade.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what do you mean? It's legit from this random guy.
To report,
Can we hear it from the Giants?
yeah, I feel like I want
All
to.
right, fair. That's
he
No,
left because of it. I mean,
I mean, no, I mean,
Yeah.
no. Most teams, like, I think, see him that
yeah,
way.
He's compelling. I'll give him
He's,
that.
I do. He checks the box, and he's young. Like he's only 20 years old. He is very athletic. He's accurate. Like I could see where team like, and all it takes is one team to buy him in the first round.
Ev, take the hat off.
I think what I
No,
just
no,
said. I think it's
no,
off.
I
think it's all for
if
it.
it's
I
off,
just complimented
I
him.
actually have I actually have a Daniel Jones next year. JJ sits behind him for a year.
I think that would be a nightmare.
The only thing that annoys me, he almost, even though I think he's like a better version, like more like
Yeah.
polished version, he has a lot of Daniel Jones like in him,
100%.
kind
He doesn't turn the ball over.
It's gotta
He's a little more polished, but yeah, like
That's
not
gotta take a
quite as tall.
I don't think they're going to, dude. They're going to take an offensive lineman.
I wanted this set up quick. I sent it in the group chat last night. I'm scrolling Twitter real quick. Brad Powers already was locking in bets for 2024.
So
If you don't think we got ourselves like the guy, I've respected him for like 10 years. He is just built. You talk about built different.
He cares about
He is
nothing else,
built
right?
different.
Like, does he care about?
Definitely dabbles in NFL. Was going into college basketball, but I think he said he's retired.
But he's like, it's like college football.
he's college football like 95%. I'd
Yeah,
say,
it's
essentially.
like
He's
95%.
all in, all year.
Oh, you have to be like
He's all,
there.
he's recruitment. He's all year round.
There's
No, I
no
think
other word
I think
besides
he
insane.
I think he's gambling year round, but I think as one of those guys who makes a living on his predictions and other people wanting his predictions, I don't think he's putting that stuff out there all year. Put it that way. I don't think he's confident enough in people.
No, yeah.
You know, whatever. I don't want to speak for him, but like, if you're great at one thing, you're better off being great at that.
Yeah, for
Rather than
sure.
like,
Yeah.
like, oh, now I'm into this, and now I'm into this. Like, well, no, just be great at
He
that.
knows where he's. Yeah.
Yeah.
college
But,
ball.
unbelievable. I text him last. I go, just never change. He's like, he goes, he goes, those numbers aren't good. I've already locked in my, whatever. I got better numbers or something like that. Like I already made all my bets.
Like
he's
just like he's such like a sick bastard. I'd say that's like I'm, you know, what I mean, I'm saying this as like a compliment of how like just locked in he is. Like he's betting Ohio State like early, like already projecting like Michigan's gonna lose all these players.
Yeah.
Why is there like he's like projecting like there's a world where maybe Michigan's just like Harbaugh leaves in a world where Michigan's just bad, and he got Ohio State minus like 4, and all of a sudden they're minus like 12 by the
bananas.
time the game is like that's where for a game in November next Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Right.
He's
Le'Veon Bell's gambling tweets.
So Le'Veon Bell was like looking at like this Kyrie over his last 5 games. He goes, I could place a bet right now and end all this shit. And then I'll pull up the next one.
Yeah, like Kyrie literally is having like an unbelievable stretch.
Wait, wasn't he saying that he could lock him up, like play defense on him and like not let him score?
Slow down, betting the over. Oh. No, is he just saying he's cold?
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
like he's
yes,
saying
that
he's such a
brings-
bad
okay,
gambler that he
Yes.
could stop Kyrie.
I like that.
Yeah.
that's actually fun.
Right.
That's so relatable.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
like
yeah.
when I threatened to
So-
put a game of the year on Michigan.
So
So, it was so
ba-
cold to threaten Dave.
So should we just all take the under? He said I'm betting the over. Oh, under on Kyrie props.
Yeah.
I need to see him bet
Under
it. I need
props.
proof he's gonna bet it though.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
I need him to tell us.
I
Like, hey,
forget like Le'Veon Bell like fought Adrian Peterson in a boxing match.
Yeah, they're all wild.
I forgot that happened.
Wild.
Random Friday night it happened, and
Marty, you're red hot. Let's get into the picks from last night, and then we'll kind of wrap up some storylines. Last night, I know people obviously want some things to weigh in on. A lot
I'm
of
gonna tweet it out again because these aren't official till I tweet them because I'm gonna look into a little bit. But first, go watch my video just came out again. Kansas through the eyes of Hunter and the fans and Allen Fieldhouse. You're a college basketball fan. Allen Fieldhouse, Rico, would you say is like it's top 3 place to go?
yeah.
Gotta be right.
It's
College basketball.
yeah. Rupp that no order. Rupp that Dean Dome and
Duke. Gotta be.
on Duke. Yeah.
Didn't you see you
Yeah.
had like insane access to like?
Yeah, I was on the floor. I was on the court after, like before the game. After it was crazy. So go watch that. Booz did a really good job. I'm going UConn minus 6.5. Mississippi State plus 6.5. LSU minus 3.5. And then Miami minus 7.5. And this one it hurts my heart because I fucking love the Asian Steph Curry, but Rutgers minus 2.5. And that's all I have for right this second.
Yeah.
We literally have like almost the same picks.
That's good for you.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm on UConn. I'm on UConn minus 6.5.
Way to be modest.
This is the only time in my life I'm not going to be modest.
Only time.
Time when you're
You
hot.
bet 100 in the major leagues.
No,
That's
Never
happening.
modest.
That's happening too. I'm putting that to the
When
test.
you're hot gambling, you tell everyone.
Everybody.
everyone.
Everyone's like, be modest.
You
Fuck
puff your chest
that,
out.
bro.
You tell everyone.
I'm 11-1 in the last 2 days.
I mean, 35 units in like 2 weeks with single unit with like
1 unit.
Like 1 unit plays is outrageous.
We're hearing Meekville eat in the background, by the way. I don't know if that's. Maybe we don't need to. Yep.
So crazy. I spend 2 hours of my day every day with these.
Yeah, I'm on LSU -3, UConn -6.5, Mississippi State +7, Northwestern -4.5, and the Rutgers -2.
UConn is serving beer tonight, $2 beers. The line's already out the door.
And I'm just not a believer in Creighton. I just don't think they're that good.
Creighton's frauds. Also, $2 beer night syllabus week. Back on campus today. Already waiting outside.
Dude, that should be
UConn minus
that should be
6.5.
on the betting websites. What you just said, $2 beers.
Yeah.
Syllabus
Already
week.
camped out.
It should be like because that
God,
is
syllabus week.
syllabus week is the best. week
nothing
in college-
going on.
in college.
It almost makes you wonder, why do they have syllabus week the second time, the second semester?
I agree.
Just roll right in.
Yeah, like just
Yo,
start. You know the kids.
motherfuckers already got a freebie in the
Dude,
first
also
semester.
college break is like 2 months.
Oh, it's so long.
It's so long.
I was amazed by
You're like sometimes you're at home. You're like I just want to go back.
It's kind of frustrating. It's like too short to find a job.
Yeah.
It's too long to do
When
anything
did you
else.
find out about the college schedule? When you were a sophomore in college? I'm sorry, in high school?
I have to feel.
Phil, you done with your trips, buddy? Were they good? Did you enjoy them? They sounded great.
Okay, I didn't know the mic was unmuted, so that's not my fault.
I didn't know.
No,
about
it's
that
definitely
till,
not your fault that you ate
sophomore year of
chips.
high school.
What?
That my dad was like, yeah, in college you go to school you go to class like 3 times a week. Like if
Oh, dude, I didn't know that till I went to
what?
college.
Syllabus week is the time you add all your classes, then you drop them after 2 weeks because you could still get it without a W or whatever, and then you just go to the
That
class
is
like 3
so
weeks later.
True. It's like
Yeah.
when you the first week you like this is gonna be too
Winter,
long. I gotta
the
get this out.
professor's like, you already have 2 missed classes. Like, hun, I ain't gonna be here. I ain't gonna be here.
I got Arizona State tonight minus the 3.5. I do think Arizona State's playing better. I took them last week. I know maybe I just can't quit this team. A lot of talent. UCLA is a dumpster fire on the road. I'm going to take Arizona State minus the 3.5.
Is real quick, Danny Sprinkle coach of the year?
He's still coach of the year. He lost 1 game in the fucking conference. You lost. Who did Kansas lose to?
Who's
Recently.
Who's
UCF?
Kansas. I'm not a Kansas fan.
You're a UCF guy.
What?
My guys have to go
I just
undefeated.
put him in a blender. I just put him in a blender.
What?
I just saw you short circuit. You said who they fucking lose to UCF. I go, you're a UCF
Yeah, I am
guy.
a UCF guy. Yeah.
And you just short circuit. You short circuited.
You can't, but you have to go undefeated in the conference.
Coach
It's a
of the year.
6-bid league. It could be flirting with more bids than the ACC when it's all said
Got
and
blown
done.
out. It's all right. Coach of the year.
I got some picks. Clemmer, do you have any
I
action?
do.
Also, Dukes. I'm gonna go after Dukes.
know how
too.
many
Dukes
points
was
he-
completely wrong about Dayton.
Yeah, but 13 missed free throws. Like,
How many-
that's the cover.
He returned 0 points from last year, and he lost the kid Ashworth, who's unbelievable at Creighton.
All I'm saying is they lost yesterday. You got to bring up things when they happened, no?
Wait, Dayton didn't lose, though.
No, I'm talking to him about Danny Sprinkle.
My teams
Well,
have to go
I was just
undefeated.
trying to lessen the blow on him. Don't relax back there.
My teams have
Rico,
to
this
go
is why we only
undefeated.
have each other.
We have to go undefeated, apparently. Clemmer, what's your pick?
So good news for everybody. I'm betting on the NBA. Remember last week I'm 0-4 in the NBA, so fade away, my friends. Jason Tatum assists under 5.5. They're playing the Spurs. I don't think he's going to get a ton of minutes because I think it's going to be a blowout. And then on the other end, he's only hit 6 assists once in the last 4 games.
I like that.
I guess. I don't know. I'm terrible at this. At the
I like
NBA,
that.
So.
Yeah, the
Can-
other.
Can I just
go
give something
ahead.
really
Yeah,
quick?
give something.
I like Louisville plus 21 against UNC, I think. I think
like
Louisville's
that,
playing
too.
for their coach.
Sleepwalk.
I like that. Houston minus 12.5 against Texas Tech. I think they play similar styles of ball. I think Houston's going to come out firing. I think LJ Cryer has a big bounce back game. What's the other ones that I had? I had West Virginia plus 12. West Virginia plus 12.5 against Oklahoma. I like going through it. Rutgers minus 3. UConn minus 6.5. LSU minus. Oh no. Oakland minus 3.5 against Youngstown State. I love Oakland. I think they play good ball. Holy Cross plus 4. And
I'm an Oakland guy,
that's
too.
it.
I'm in love with this Sanford team. Go
I
ahead.
have
Phil.
Jason Tatum over 5.5 assists. I wouldn't be surprised he has a double-double tonight. I think
Just because of my pick, right, Phil?
No, just a coincidence.
I'm programming note. We're doing a pick central pick of the day parlay after the show that we're putting
Yeah,
out on
hopefully I
socials.
don't lose.
Rico was the only person that
Yeah,
lost yesterday.
I fell in love with that Sanford team, though. They're legit. A core, legit. I know we got to go. I just want to say if somebody's going to elbow a referee and then potentially cause a riot and you step in and get that person back to their sidelines, I think you're a leader of men.
Dukes, I'd like your opinion on this because obviously I don't.
Diffuse the situation.
I mean, you can't do what NATO says. Wrong place, wrong time, you know? But, like, if. You like that?
no. You're the 87th person.
I think he
let me ask you a question, though.
He tried to kill a student athlete. on Alabama's campus. That's never happened in Alabama history before.
Let me ask you a question.
The kid from Mizzou elbowed the referee in the head.
If the kid pushed Oates, he gets suspended for like the next 10 games.
Yeah.
That's where I have a problem with it. I love it. I love college basketball. I love when they fucking do this shit. I love when coaches get involved. But if it was the other way around, that kid is fucked. You put a hands on a coach, dunzo.
At first, I thought
He got no technical foul, no nothing,
At first, I thought he was keeping him away.
which was fine.
But then he did this weird finishing move.
Yes.
And it was like, oh, all right.
He kind of did like when you get into a fight and you know the kids like kind of get locked like by a security guard and you like go like this with your boys like let me at him and shit. It was almost like that.
So Nate Oates, good guy.
Great guy.
There you go.
Peacemaker. One of the best.
He's got a good boat.
One of the best peacemakers.
Was he not good to you, Marty?
I said he's got a good boat. He's a good guy.
Barstool Radio
I
coming up
think
next.
Rico's made me have to question him.